I ain't even got time to check to see if it's right. If it ain't right, I'll just crop it out. Hey, happy Friday! What's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We're back with another video for you guys. I hope you guys had a great week, and I hope you guys are ready to enjoy your Mother's Day weekend. I want to take the time to say Happy Mother's Day to all the Scorpion Show watchers who are mothers. Now, you don't have to physically have a child to be a mother. You can be a foster mother, you can be taking care of your niece, and you're taking the responsibilities of being a mother. Shout out to all the mothers out there. Shout out to y'all. If you're watching the Scorpion Show for the first time, I hope that you do click that subscribe button. Also, share our video to Facebook and Twitter. Tell the people that you watch the Scorpion Show. And if you're watching on your phone, click the like button. I noticed that y'all don't be clicking the like button like that. And if you're watching on your phone, the like button is right there. If you're watching on the computer, it's right there. Click that like button, please. Thank you. So it's been a lot going on this week. And not mainly entertainment-wise. It's been mainly with Mr. Donald Trump. After Mikkel and I recorded on Tuesday, like right after we recorded, I sent Mikkel a text saying Donald Trump just fired James Comey. And I think I put LOL or something like that. Because it was just crazy. And I didn't understand why he fired James Comey. And then on CNN, of course, they was showing the letter that I was trying to take a picture of it, but they took it all too fast. And he was just letting him know that, oh no, it wasn't about Russia, even though you told me 3 times and all of this good stuff. He was letting him go. And then as the day developed, because I mean it was breaking news and I don't think any of the shows took commercial breaks, we found out that James Comey was in Los Angeles meeting with FBI agents, and he seen on the TV screen that he was fired, and he thought he was being punked. And somebody had to pull him out the room and said, this is serious. Now, when you are the leader of the FBI and the president is your boss, if you're going to let somebody go, you would think that while James Comey was in Washington, D.C., you had all of that time to get rid of him. So we found out that, what's the guy named Rosenstein?
The Deputy Attorney General. The
Deputy Attorney General and the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, they came to a conclusion that he should be fired over how the way he handled the things with Hillary Clinton and things like that. Now, as far as we know, Jeff Sessions has recused himself from dealing with anything with Hillary Clinton and the Russia investigations. So why was his name on that letter? I don't know. So the next day, they did the press conference. And you see Mike Pence talking too, and everybody was just blaming it on the developments of the attorney generals. Then, the next day, Donald Trump did an interview, which was yesterday. He did an interview with Lester Holt. Now Donald Trump was saying, I was going to fire him anyway, whatever the conclusions were. We were going to get rid of him. And then he went on to say that he was a showboat, he's a grandstander, all of the things that Donald Trump is.
Right, he was describing himself. That's what I said when I was watching.
He was sitting up there describing someone else. And the interview, you know, Donald Trump always want to talk about his wins and everything. And Donald Trump really looks like he was really trying to think before he spoke because he didn't want to say anything to fuck him up.
I got an answer. Come on, let's start.
Yeah, so back to...
Oh, wait, I didn't know we were still...
No, I'm going to edit all of that stuff out. Yeah, so back to... so... What did I say? Comey? I forgot where I left off.
We were talking about Comey.
We were talking about Comey, and we were talking about Wednesday, and
Trump
was saying he was a showboater, and all of that stuff. And I think that Donald Trump was trying to be careful with what he was saying because Lester Holt was asking him all kinds of questions. Oh, so you went to dinner with him? When did you go to dinner? Who scheduled it?
And who called you?
Yeah.
Who called him? You called him or did he call you?
Yeah. And Donald Trump said, I think 2 times he called me or I called him. Listen, it's just all a mess. Oh, but he assured you that he will let you know. Like, he's not supposed to let you know if you're under investigation. Right. That's just wrong.
And the fact that you're saying that he told you that, knowing that that's not good, that he told you that, if he did tell you that, he's not supposed to do that. But I think there's something, something more to it. I think Donald Trump, to be honest with you, I don't think James Comey ever told him that he wasn't under investigation. I think Donald Trump is making that up. And I think Donald Trump is probably saying to him, calling his bluff, I hope you don't have any tapes before you start leaking, trying to scare him, because he knows that if Jim Comey does have tapes of him not telling you you're not under investigation, then that'll look bad for you. Mm-hmm. So I think Donald Trump is basically kind of trying to call his bluff, like, you better not put anything out there because I'll get you. But I honestly don't think Jim Comey told him that. I don't. Mm. But I'm waiting for him to come out himself and say what he said to Donald Trump and what he didn't. But I don't think we're going to be able to hear that, because he's supposed to be having these meetings with the Senate, and they're supposed to be closed door. They're not going to be open to the public.
But I heard that he hasn't decided if he was going to do the meetings or not as of today. But it's just everything is just a whole hot mess. First you got Sean Spicer, then you got Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and they both don't know what the hell they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had Kellyanne Conway on with Anderson Cooper the other day, and it was just bad because he was just getting her out of here, and it got to the point where he was rolling his eyes on camera. And
literally.
yes,
rolling his eyes
over her.
on camera.
And what's her name? Mika Brzezinski, who does Morning Joe. I was watching them this morning, and she was like, I really love my friends over in that CNN, but this is not to the anchors. She told CNN, y'all need to stop bringing Kellyanne Conway on to the show because the anchors are already over, and they don't want to report her.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just bringing out the anger on the anchor. Because, of course, she was talking about Anderson Cooper, but she didn't want to say exactly what it was. And I agree. And I know that on her show, Kellyanne Conway is banned from coming on the show. She can never come on there. All she does is tells lies.
Right. And but I think that I don't think that CNN should ban her. Keep her coming, because she makes them look bad. Like, for instance, in these past, he fired Jim Comey on Tuesday. This is now Friday. Mm-hmm. From Tuesday to Friday, you've had nothing but this person said this, that person is saying this, Donald Trump is saying something totally different from what these people who work for him are saying. It's like these people are saying, well, Jim Comey was fired because under the recommendation of the Deputy Attorney General. Jeff Sessions, who is the Attorney General, just signed off on it, and they sent the letter to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is saying, oh no, I was going to fire him. It ain't got nothing to do with them. Yeah. So now he's making them look. So nobody's not on it. So no, let Kellyanne Conway keep coming on the show to make her look stupid. Yeah. And Donald Trump. Yeah. Because if nobody from his camp comes on the show to talk, then we won't really know how stupid they are.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And I mean.
And now he's talking about he wants to just bar having press briefings.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Because it's never, it's so much going on that sometimes things aren't accurate at the time. Get the fuck out of here. If everybody has one story and stick to it, you don't have to go about this, because they were showing Sarah Huckabee Sanders saying the same thing on every show. And then she flipped it around because of you. Like, y'all doing too much. It's just, nobody's consistent. Can you imagine
going around the bank with him?
No.
You're going to get caught that night.
Yeah. I would never.
You'll never be able to spend the money.
And I feel bad. I feel bad for Sean Spicer, because I know that's probably not a job that he really wants. Right. And he has to lie for the president all the time. Right. And then you got to keep lying, lies on top of lies on top of lies, and you got to keep trying to keep up with it. It's just tough. It's tough. And I just couldn't be in that position to keep lying. I couldn't be a professional liar for a president. Now, some things you don't want to disclose, but they're just doing a little bit too much. Right. And then you got the president going on Twitter threatening people.
Threatening the former FBI director.
If you want to get rid of press briefings and just go ahead and release letters, go ahead and do that. It saves your administration the embarrassment. Right. That y'all don't know what the fuck y'all doing, and y'all need to get out of office. I just think as soon he's going to be going. He's not going to be there for 4 years. This is not, I just can't picture this being the whole 4 years. This can't be. And I just can't. But it's just a mess. Make sure you guys are informed on who is running for re-election in 2018, because this we can't keep. And then we didn't even talk about them voting on the health bill 2 weeks ago, and they got the votes they needed, 216 votes. They barely read the bill and they voted on it. And I know that they said back in 2008 the Democrats did the same thing, but it seems like Obamacare worked, but they still shouldn't be voting for something where they don't know what the hell is going on, because if something really, really went bad, your name is on there. You signed up or you voted yes for this. And oh my God, it's like like I don't really know about this Obamacare situation. I know it's bad. I mean, it's good for some people and it's bad for some people.
But this
At first Obamacare was good for me. Now it's horrible for me. I'm like, bitch.
It's horrible for you. How?
Because the cost went up on me a whole lot.
Well, that was one of the things that Donald Trump and the Republicans were talking about. That the premiums
I understand that,
up.
but who are they really benefiting? They're benefiting the rich, not the people who can't afford things. And you need to have health insurance. It's very important.
But see, Obamacare also works for people who have pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
Whereas though this new bill is not going to necessarily work for a lot of folks with
pre-existing conditions. Not.
And I was explaining that to my coworker today. Now she doesn't have Obamacare, but I was explaining to her. Let's just say if you did have Obamacare, her son has this condition with his stomach where it's really bad, and I can't really explain it, but it's like a bad situation with his stomach. And I was explaining to her that with your son's condition, that is what you would consider a pre-existing condition. Mm-hmm. And I said, if just imagine if you were on Obamacare. Thank God you're not, but just imagine if you were on Obamacare. And if this new bill by the Republicans were to be passed and become law, your son would not, he would not be covered because of this condition. Yeah. So therefore, you would have to.
Yeah, or I think they'll probably try to cover him, but it will be way higher than what it would be if he didn't have a pre-existing.
So it's like it's like Obamacare works for some and then it doesn't work for some. But the good thing about Obamacare is that more people are insured than they were before Obamacare. Yes. You know what I mean? And nobody's saying that Obamacare is perfect. The Democrats are saying that as well. Even President Obama. Obamacare is not perfect, and there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. But the most important thing about it is that more people have insurance because of it. Instead of trying to get rid of it, try to see what it is that you can fix and improve it.
And that's the biggest problem that we have. Like, they all were celebrating, like, oh my God, we voted to repeal the Obamacare, but that was only just in the House. Now it has to go through the Senate. And I'm sure they're going to have to make some changes. And if they have to make some changes to the bill, then it has to go back to the House and pass in the House, and then it has to pass through the Senate, and then it has to go to the President. It's just a whole hot-ass mess. And I think what the Republicans and Democrats should do is sit their differences aside and remember that we're talking about the health care of Americans. And stop labeling yourself as a Democrat and as a Republican and thinking yourself as Americans and what will be best to help all of Americans when it comes to health care. Mm-hmm. And stop trying to just say, oh, we're doing this and we're doing that. All of y'all need to work together. It's 438 of y'all in the House and there's 100 of y'all in the Senate. Y'all need to all work together. All 538 of y'all need to get it together. Because it's just bad. I'm tired of every day Democrats, Republicans, oh, y'all always got to think different. Y'all don't always got to think different on every fucking thing. Can y'all come together on anything? Can the Republicans grow some balls and get rid of their president? Because I know y'all don't want him. And all he doing is just signing shit for you.
Yeah.
Basically. But y'all all need to work together.
But that just goes to show how they weren't able to get anything done. Now they just have somebody who's just signing shit in.
Yeah. This executive order. This executive order. And then you go back and you look at all the times where Donald Trump was talking about, oh, he's just an executive order president. Bitch, you done signed more executive orders than Barack Obama. Come on, man. Like, they just all a mess. I'm tired of them. And I want to talk about something else. God, these motherfuckers. All right. So Mikhail and I, he watched Braxton Family Value last night. I watched it today. Now, this is the episode that I've been waiting on because
it's a very good episode.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean,
it was good.
It was probably one of their top 10 episodes of Braxton Family Value. But my favorite is always going to be the one where they was in Jamaica and smoking weed. Okay, so
my favorite is not my favorite episode, but my favorite scene I think of all time was when Tamar was trying to teach Tracy.
I knew you was about this.
Because Tracy really didn't get it.
No, she didn't.
She didn't understand how she wasn't getting it. And 5, 6, 7, 8, and more. Wait, and no, go back. And Tawana just posted that on her Instagram not too long ago.
That was too funny. So if you're not watching the Braxtons right now, they're currently, well, according to the show, they're in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And they're having a family trip with the girls and their mom. Now, for some reason, they wanted to invite their dad, and they thought it would be a good idea to invite the wife, but Tony was supposed to handle that with telling the mom that the wife would be there, but Tony never told the mom that Mr. Braxton's wife, Mrs. Braxton, the other Mrs. Braxton, would be coming. So that never happened. So Mrs. what's her name? Miss Evelyn finds out that her ex-husband is there with his wife from Tamar's son Logan,
who shouldn't have been there.
Well, Vince and Logan shouldn't have been there, but Tamar like, look, we're gonna celebrate our birthdays. We both almost die. Our birthdays are important to us. Yada yada yada.
Well, then you should have went on the trip with them. Because this was supposed to be the sisters and.
Yeah, they could have put it on for another week, but hey.
And the brother too, but sometimes I figure he
the brother was there.
No, but I'm saying they invited him. But you know, he's like, I don't think that's not it.
Yeah, not for all this drama, especially with Tamar.
Okay.
And that's no shade. It's all tea. Because she went off on this episode. But we're going to get to that. So the mom talking to Trina and Tawanda, she's like, look, I found out and I'm out of here. I'm getting on the next thing smoking. I'm out this bitch. So she leaves. Tony like, yeah, I wanted to tell her, but then I had to think about my mom and I couldn't be woman enough to tell my mom that another woman, her ex-husband wife was going to come. So she never told her. So Tony gets the girls at the dinner and let them know that Daddy and his wife is on his way. And soon as she said that, she like, they're coming in right now. So she didn't want to tell them because she didn't want them not to come. So now they laying there all on the table. And I mean, dinner scenes is like one of my favorite scenes, either in reality shows, in movies, or anything. Because something is going to go down. And it went down at this dinner table with Mr. Braxton, Michael Braxton, and his wife, and the girls. And, you know, they all felt some kind of way when their dad got a divorce from their mom. And he never really told them the story. And he feels that, you know, he don't have to tell them everything. Because he don't ask them what goes on in their relationships. He said he don't ask them nothing. So what I look like explaining all of this to you guys. I don't have to tell you everything. But he was saying that his marriage to Mrs. Evelyn Braxton, that was over with. He said she didn't have anything to do with it. It was already over. And they still haven't really, I've never heard anything about what happened between Mrs. Braxton, Evelyn Braxton, and Michael Braxton.
Well, apparently their marriage was falling apart. It was falling apart.
And
but
yeah,
I think while their marriage was falling apart, and while because I paid very close attention to what he was saying, while he was explaining the situation, I think what still bothers the mom is our marriage may have been falling apart, but it doesn't negate the fact that you still started messing with this woman while you were still married with me. And she may not have been the cause of us breaking up, but I mean, we were still married.
Yeah.
And you were still living with me. You may not have liked to come home, but you were still living with me. And that's why I always say it's always best to wait until these people are divorced. Because then this way, you can't be blamed for breaking something up. Now, yes, a home may have already been broken before you got there, but it still don't look good that you're sleeping with somebody who's still legally married.
Now, I don't know
and not only that, well, what do you think they were doing?
I don't know. All I know he said he needed a friend.
Let me tell you something. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest, and I said this before. If my mother and father are going through something, and either one of them decides that they're going to start stepping out and talking to somebody else while they're still married to the other one, you damn right, I'm going to take my other parent's side. First of all, if that's how you feel, then you need to get a divorce. But don't disrespect my father by start dating another man. Don't disrespect my mother by starting dating another woman while you're still married to her.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, don't do that, because that's disrespectful. If you feel that way, then get a divorce from my mother, get a divorce from my father, and then everybody can go about their own business. But yeah, I'm going to take my father's side if my mom decides to bring another man around. You damn right. What are you doing? That's still your husband. And how dare he wants to be with you and you're still married?
Yeah, I don't know how. We don't know nothing about how long if they were even separated at one point. We don't know none of that stuff.
Well, if you
We just
rewind
know-
it and pay attention again, Mr. Braxton says it. That's why I said I was paying attention.
He said that
the marriage, what he said was, she didn't break anything up. We were already on bad terms.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Of course. But
But he didn't say how long they was on bad terms for.
no, he didn't say
How long do I have to
But
be
if
on
you
bad terms
notice,
before I
but
start
if you
talking
notice,
about
but if you notice, but if you notice, he never said, I started talking to Miss Wanda after your mother and I
He
divorced.
sure didn't.
No,
He said-
because he was talking to her while they were married.
They was having problems. Yeah, I know. I heard
But that doesn't make it right.
It don't make it right, but sometimes you do need somebody to talk to.
Yeah,
and in that
you can
process,
talk to them.
And in that process, he fell in love with her. While talking to her about his issues, he fell in love with her.
Who the fuck is?
Somebody sent you that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because you're recording.
This will tell you.
I'm losing. Okay, so I don't know how long they were on their relationship was on the rocks. Yes, he shouldn't have been talking to somebody else while he was still married, but it happens all the time. Now, instead of saying it's okay, but it happens all the time, so it's no shock to me that something like that happened. He fell in love with her while he was going through his own storm with his wife. But if he would have talked to his wife the same way he talked to that woman, who knows, their relationship could have been saved, or their marriage could have been saved.
If he was what?
If he would have took the time, like the time he was talking to that woman,
To talk to his wife.
talk to that wife in the same manner about trying to fix things, it could have saved their marriage.
And pastors, because he was a preacher, pastors are all about going to counseling. Him and his wife should have been in counseling. Now, I don't know if they
Yeah,
were.
we don't even know. We don't know nothing. So
Right.
we could just assume guess. But so anyway, she's there now, and this is my thing. Y'all know I love Miss Evelyn Braxton. I love her dearly. I love her personality. She's cool and everything, but I think that whatever bitterness she has towards the other Mrs. Braxton, it's time to let that go. Because clearly she could still be around their father. She could still be around him. Now, she might not fuck with him, but she could still be cordial. But when you talk about that other woman, it's just like, it's just a bad thing. Now, honestly though, she don't have to get to know the other Mrs. Braxton because all her children are grown. Anything she needs to talk to Mr. Braxton about, it should be about the children, or or the grandchildren or whatever. She doesn't have to have any kind of relationship with that woman. But when you bring her up, it's like it's another woman you see on a TV screen. And it's like she's afraid to deal with the other woman. And she shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. This is your children's father's wife. I ain't saying y'all got to be girlfriends, but I think that I don't know. I've never been in that predicament. But what I've seen from my mother and my father and her dealing with the other women, it was never an issue. Never an issue at all. You have children with this lady or whatever, my son can go over there. It's never been a problem with any other woman that my father had children with or dealt with. It's never been a problem.
Well, when did your father and mother split up?
Oh, my mom split up like probably before I was born.
Right.
Probably before I was born.
Did she say why?
Oh, because he wanted to go out and do
wanted
his
to
thing,
do
and she
his
wanted
thing.
that kind
She
of.
wasn't that kind of girl.
Yeah, and my mom was 10 years older than her. I don't know.
Your mom
But-
like him young.
Yeah, she does. Everybody's always been younger than her. She's a cougar.
But all right, I'm trying to understand the situation. Why it's different from them? I think it's different from them. Were they ever married?
Who, my mom?
Yeah.
No.
They were okay. So they weren't married, and they didn't have any kids together, you were in the oven. What was different with them is the Braxtons, they were married, and they were married for a long time. I looked on their Wikipedia. I think she was married to him from like 65 to like 2000. They were married for a very long time.
Yeah, they got
and
seven
then they had
children.
7 children. So I think that's right there is the big difference between your mom and dad and those two. They have been married for so many years. They have brought 7 kids into this world. In Miss Evelyn's mind, now, like you said, neither one of us know exactly what's going on. But let me just say this. I 100% agree with you because I just feel like, Miss Evelyn, it's time for you to move on. But I think in Miss Evelyn's mind, in the back of her mind, she feels as though Miss Wanda is the cause of why they broke up. Mm-hmm. Now, this is the first time I ever heard Mr. Braxton's side of the story and him saying, no, it wasn't Miss Wanda. We were already... on rough terms. But I feel like in Miss Evelyn's mind, to me, I always felt like she was making it seem like he cheated on her and this is why they broke up because of this woman. So maybe that's because that's what Miss Evelyn has in her head that she wants to believe.
But technically he did cheat because...
Well, he did cheat. But you just said, well, maybe they didn't do anything. But no, he did cheat.
Yeah, because he did. But if you start
Hello, yes, he cheated. What the fuck? That's what I was trying to say. He cheated. But, I think that the two things are, Braxton is saying Miss Wanda didn't break up our marriage. Our marriage was already being broken. And Evelyn is saying, no, she is the reason why our marriage is broken. Mm-hmm. So you got the two of them at odds of why they really broke up.
Yeah, and they all need to go see Mr. T.D. Jakes again.
I feel like they need to see Iyanla.
Oh, she...
Because I feel like T.D. just wants to be the same.
They ain't ready for her. They not, because they're not really still ready to deal with the situation.
She gonna tell me, Quadira is so stupid. It's a dumb. I gotta teach her how to be sneaky. She don't know how to be sneaky. She don't, Kevin. I'm trying to teach her.
Tell him to go relax on her Friday.
Yes.
She see you all week.
Yes. So
you see him all week. I know she's gonna see the video.
No, she's not.
Oh well, I'm sure till next time I see.
But anyway, I just feel like this is what I say. I agree with you, Miss Evelyn. It's time for you to move on, honey.
What was that
I
song
said
you
this
when before we got on camera.
What song?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You were saying something, but yeah, it is time.
Because I feel like every time you see their father, Mr. Braxton, and Miss Evelyn in a scene together, she always got her face full, grunt stuff. She always got this I don't feel like being bothered. But Mr. Braxton is always happy. Even when you and I met him, he was always, and you know what? No, I was talking about this on live. He's just always happy. When we even met him, he's just a nice, happy guy. She's nice too. But it's like once he comes around, she get all uptight and tense. And it's like he's moved on with his life. It's time for her to move on with hers. Like, let that hurt go. Sit down with him, say what you gotta say, let him say what he gotta say, and move on. If you don't want to meet his wife, you ain't gotta meet his wife. You ain't gotta meet her, just move on. If you feel like you cannot move on to the point that you are able to be in the same room with his wife, then tell your children, listen, don't invite me to anything where she's gonna be there. And that's that. But move on, sis, because I feel like you just keep harboring in this hurt, and it's like almost 20 years later, it's like you gotta let that go.
And the hurt that she carries, you can see it all.
It's trickling down to not just her daughters.
Yeah, but I don't see that pain. Like when I actually not yesterday, today, because I was we was watching. I'm like, did Tracy get a chance to get anything in? Mm-hmm. But all you can see is pain in Tracy, mm-hmm. And Tracy, she ain't say what she really wanted to say, because I think she would have went off. Too. It seems like she got a relationship with her.
Yeah, but can I say why I see the pain in all of her daughters except for just not Tamar? There's a pattern. All of them are divorced except for Tamar and Tracy. Mm-hmm. Tawanda, Trina, and Tony. They're following their mother's pattern.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Iyanla. Call a thing a thing.
Let's call a thing a thing. There is no but. She has let that hurt build up and fester so much that it is jumping on her daughters, and she don't even realize that the hurt is jumping on her daughters. They don't even realize that they are receiving the hurt from their mother. And